Things I wish I knew before I started high school. So I could have taken all on-level classes and I would have still gotten into the school. And ultimately, I'm so grateful for each and every person. Like, I have friends who do drugs and drink, and I don't necessarily do that. No, and I don't miss them right now, not at all. I remember this was freshman year. I remember I used to always see people like making out, and you know, you're not the only one going through. There's so many people that are going through it too. It's high school. Things happen. It's crazy that like I've been in school for literally 13 years. Whatever you do, finish high school. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Yolanda and welcome to Unfiltered Me. So for today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys things I wish I knew before I started high school. So currently I'm a senior. I'm class of 2024 and I'm very excited to be graduating. I plan on continuing my academic and athletic in college, and so I'm really excited to be continuing on this journey with you guys. But for today's video, I'm going to be just telling you about my experience in high school and just things that I wish I knew before heading in, because it was a lot. But also we have to consider the fact my freshman year was COVID year. Like, it was going into the school year that it was like hybrid, so some days I go in, some days but for the most part, this is like things that apply to like sophomore to senior year. But yes, I really hope that you guys will enjoy and be inspired and will take this on as you go throughout the years. And if you guys are interested, please be sure to give this video a huge thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe down below. Make sure to turn on post notifications to be notified when I post. And for everything, let's get on to this video. For my first number one advice, I'd say is grades don't define you. Okay, now this is gonna be like a little controversial a little bit about the statement I'm about to make about it, but personally, like, as I look back on my years, I stressed out for literally no reason, because the school I'm going to is literally, I think the acceptance rate is above 70-80%. So it's like I could still coast by. I could have taken all on-level classes and I would have still gotten into this school. And not to say that, oh, I shouldn't have tried harder and taken all these hard classes, but there'd be so many nights I'd spend stressing out, trying to uphold myself to a level, which is good to challenge yourself, but also it became an unhealthy obsession. I feel like it wasn't until this year like I hit my wit's end, where I was just like, I'm just so sick and tired of having to like constantly compare myself to other people. Like, I'm not measuring up just because this and that, but you have to also acknowledge, you know, where you came from, like how far you've worked. And I feel like, you know, taking it at that broader perspective, ultimately, like, I feel like not valedictorian or not trying to get into prestigious like college, that it's okay, that, you know, it's okay to not take all the honors classes or all the AP classes. It's okay to not do dual enrollment and get all these like college credits or do online schooling, things like that. It can be lonely. Like, I literally took online school and it just felt so isolating, like being away from like my class. For people that do go that path, that's good for them, but I don't think it's for everybody, and it's okay. Ultimately, you can just choose and decide how you want to spend your years, but ultimately, to me, it wasn't worth it stressing so much. But I think for some people it was that, because that's what they had going for them. But for me, I have sports, so even though I may not have it in the department for academics, I had it in athletics. So I guess it differentiates for different people, but for me, that's how I see it, is that ultimately it matters, but it's not the end of the world if your GPA isn't like high. Like, those people that I know, like 4.6. Like, it's okay if it's 3.9. Like, at the end of the day, we're all getting the same diploma. You know what I'm saying? Number two is the friends you start with are not the same people that you're gonna end with. And I think that's a good thing, because, you know, there's some, over these course of year, you grow and change so much, and I would have never expected it. But literally, one of my biggest changes that happened in my life was going from freshman to sophomore year, and that was the summer of, and that's when I left the Mormon church, and that was like a huge drastic change. Now I can name many other changes, and I could say like with guys and just like with, you know, different classes I took, different interests and clubs and, you know, sports and all that stuff. Like there is so much that happened during that time, and I'm so grateful for all the people that I've met, no matter how much, you know, they may have positively or negatively impacted my life. Ultimately, it's made to me where I am today. It's brought me this far, and I feel like I'm a strong version of myself. I know what I want. I know what I want to do in life. It has just developed me into a great person, despite, you know, many hardships and many tears and many, you know, rough days where I just couldn't see myself making it past the next day. Ultimately, like, I'm so grateful for each and every person, and I think it's okay. It's because it's like you want to invite people who, I feel like with old friends, and I've seen this a lot personally with me, like people that I've known since like elementary or middle school, it's like you're just a completely different person, and it's like so many things that you may have been okay with before, you may not be now. And I think with those kind of friendships, it's just like a matter of them not accepting the change of you, and so it's just like you're this and that, oh, I don't like you anymore because you're that. But ultimately you just grow and you're different, and I've realized that as I've made new friends with people and set those boundaries beforehand, that I don't have the same problem with. And sometimes it's just a matter of talking to the person or whatever, but sometimes some people don't want to change. They don't want to look at you as who you are now versus who you were then. They're stuck in the idea of who you are then, and I feel like I've kind of placed some of my friends in that place where it's just like hard for me to, you know, recognize that like, hey, you know, you're grown up and you can make your own decisions, but also it can become unhealthy and such when like you actually have genuinely things that like don't align anymore, and that kind of separates you guys. Like I have friends who do drugs and drink, and I don't necessarily do that, and it's been hard kind of a little bit balancing those friendships, because it's just like that's how you find your, how you like spend your time, which is 100% like fine if that's how it's like that. But for me, like I'd rather like go on a run or like go to the mall or like, you know, and sometimes it's hard to find the middle ground, and it's just like we can like grow out of friendships, or just and genuinely just, even if you don't even want to put the label of like growing out of a friendship, but just really like just going two different paths, and that's 100% okay. Like the people you go in is not the same people more than likely that you're gonna leave out, and that's okay. Number 3 is it's okay to not fit in the inner group, and I never like struggled with this too much, but like to a certain degree I kind of wanted to be like in that it group. I feel like I was a lot relevant in middle school, and like I guess in a sense in high school I am, but not to like the extent of like, oh my gosh, like, everybody knows me. But because of like my sport, and I am like the #1 runner, and like my name is thrown out a bit, and like even in the morning news, like people know me like, oh my gosh, like I heard your name on the news, I don't know what it's for, but I heard, like things of that manner, right? I realized I would rather most of the inner groups, at least for my school, is like huge groups. Like it's not like 5 people, it's like 15 plus people, and I just wouldn't want to involve myself with that, because at the end of the day, like I realized having smaller groups are so much more better. And for the longest and a lot in freshman year, I feel like I struggled with the fact of wanting more and more people in my life, wanting to like, and I feel like a lot of it derives from like middle school and elementary, being people pleasing, want everybody to like me. But going into high school and realizing that it's okay if not everybody likes you, and it's okay to not have all these people, you know, all for you, because at the end of the day, I can assure you people in the group are talking. And I've literally, let me tell you the amount of stuff I've heard this past month. People talk in those groups, and I just could not see myself genuinely like happy in them. Like I'm so like content and satisfied in my small little groups. And once again, to each their own. For them, if it works out, then it works out for them, but to me, it just seems like messy. And also I can't do people dating each other, because there's a lot that's happened recently with that, with people dating in friend groups, and it has driven me crazy. But yes, next part is number 4, which is it's okay to not be in a relationship. Y'all, I wish I knew this early on, and I struggled with this for the longest. In the beginning, I'd say from like freshman year, it was a bunch of like heartbreaks, and then in sophomore year that's when I got like my first like love, and that took me a while to get over with, and it took me the longest to just in general just like heal. Like, I mean, that one hit really hard, and no, I don't miss them right now, not at all, but it definitely did teach me a lot. It was a really, I guess that was honestly like a really good foundation of how, you know, the rest of my relations and of people have been. Because of that, I've learned so much about myself and about other people and how to go about things, which is good to learn a lesson from like all those kinds of experiences, and not to like put all the blame on them, to be like, oh my gosh, I did X, Y, and Z. Yes, they played a part, but also I did, and I'm glad that, you know, like at the end of the day, like I've matured and just a better version of myself in general. But I think it's okay to be in a relationship. Like a lot of times it's like, you know, put on like, oh my gosh, like you need to be with somebody, and sometimes it's hard. Like I literally, like, I remember this was freshman year. I remember I used to always see people like making out and kissing and hugging, and I still do, you know, these days, and it's just hard sometimes. For some people it's not hard, but for me, I am a lover girl. I am a homeless romantic. I be watching all the movies, all the shows. I get those people out there. I get y'all if you're going through that and you're struggling through. Let me tell you, the grass is greener on the other side. If you have not found your person, now there's a little, like, you know, pockets full of like good people. I feel like the guy I'm talking to right now, like, you know, like he's like definitely like a keeper kind of person, because but there's just some people out there where it's just like blatantly red flags, and it's just like, if you don't find the person right now, it's not the end of the world. It is okay. Literally college is around the corner, and even though they don't recommend like dating freshman year, like I promise it gets better. Like you're gonna be okay, honestly. And if it matters too much, which I wish I knew this beforehand, but put that energy into girlhood, okay? Put that energy into your friends. How about you gift your friends? How about you cuddle your friends? How about maybe not kiss your friends unless like you're in love with them, but how about we put energy into fulfilling girl friendships and like empowering each other and like being there for each other, because you know you're not the only one going through it. There's so many people that are going through it too, I can assure you, and it's gonna be okay. We will get through this. But just because you don't have a guy, just because, you know, for the longest I really wanted to be asked to prom or homecoming, and it was cutting close, and I was like, dang, and I was accepting it. But you know, it happened for me, and I didn't expect that at all. And you just never know what's gonna happen. And if you have that person and you end up like having that prom date, then that's really good. And if you don't, it's okay. It's not the end of the world, you know. Yes, it kind of sucks and kind of stings, but you know, I also think that a big part of the high school experience, you know, I'd hate to just associate with like that one person, with just like that one guy. And it's okay if that's how it is for like some people, but for me, like looking back, I wish I didn't spend so much time being into guys and really put the energy into my friendships, because honestly, like I feel like those are more like fulfilling, like, you know, being there for each other. Number 5, I'd say, is the high school experience is what you make it to be, okay? Like high school, like you need to get involved in some way somehow. Like I don't care, like don't care, and nobody says, like do what you want. If you want to be in theater, be in theater. If you want to join the video club team, join it. If you want to be in band, orchestra, chorus, run cross country, which is what I do, like literally go for it. The worst that can happen is literally like you just being cut off, but rejection is redirection, right? Like literally, like step into opportunities. Like this is the time to figure out yourself, what you like, what you want. It's our last years being kids, and so why not live it out? Why not, you know, try out literally the song like Zootopia, try everything, you know. Now with a caution, y'all know what I mean by everything. But yeah, like we're young. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay if things don't work out for us. It's okay if, you know, this path may work for one person but may not work for you. Like this is your time to like try out things and learn what you're good at, you know. Like there's a lot of people that are just like, oh my gosh, like, you know, we don't do much. It's like, well, of course you may think that way. It's because like, you know, there's people that just genuinely like don't want to be involved, but to be talking all that stuff, just like, oh yeah, that's lame. Okay, do you have any other better ideas on what we could do? Well, let's say for a senior prank, or like for spirit week ideas, or for like prom themes. It's just like, help with the ideas. Like, don't just be like another like voice saying stuff, but it's not really like doing anything, you know? Like, you gotta do stuff to make it a part of the experience. Like, these things aren't getting planned out of nowhere. Like, you have to like put yourself in a position, like set yourself up for success, or at least for like a tolerable experience. Because I'm telling you, like, I know some people that, you know, go to school and go home, which is fine. Once again, it sounds nice, especially being at the end of my season. I just want to go home. But also, like, once again, it's just like a time to explore, and I feel like you should explore those other areas of your life to see like what may be like a strength or a weakness for you. And so do it while you can, you know? And last but not least, the world does not end over one guy, over one girl. Y'all, it's okay. Once again, truly back to the last topic, like, it's okay to not be in a relationship. If somebody does you wrong, if something happens, at the end of the day, life moves on. Remember, are you gonna remember this in the next 5 to 10 years? If not, why are you stressing over that? Or them, or whatever it may be, whatever situation, y'all. Like, it is okay. It's high school. Things happen. Feelings get in the way. People betray you. People say stuff. Yes, it sucks, but it's high school. The world doesn't end there. Eventually, we're all going to go to college. Eventually, we're all going to be adults. Not saying that's going to get easier from there, but eventually, everybody's going to forget. Everybody's going to move on. You know? You will be okay. This is going to be, like, a hard time of your life, I feel like. I mean, like, for me, it was. It's a lot that happens within these years. But it's, once again, the experience. It's what you make it. Be cautious of the people that you allow into your life. And if you have any setback, whether it may be a situation or a person, learn from it. Don't be stuck on somebody or something. What happened has happened. They showed you who you are. Proceed cautiously and distance yourself. I really wish you guys, you know, an amazing year. It's crazy that, like, I've been in school for literally 13 years. But I've made it, and you guys will too, you know? Please don't drop off also. Please. I joke about it all the time. This will be my last advice. Please don't drop out, y'all. Y'all are so close. If you are a senior, though, too, you better not be failing your classes unless, like, there's actually, like, a legitimate reason. I know, like, there's some things, and I'm not going to judge you guys for that. Like, if it's, like, actually, like, you know, like, a learning disability, or, like, if, you know, I know some parents are, like, in control of people, like, if you don't do X, Y, Z, like, you can't go to school. Like, things of that nature, like, you know. But if you are not graduating because you simply are lazy to, and just generally just like goofing off, doing drugs, what are you doing? This is my little pep talk to you, because I know one person who didn't graduate their whole class, and honestly, it's so sad. Okay, it's genuinely so sad if it's something that is in your control. Actually, I know some people, things that are out of control that they can't do and they didn't graduate, and I feel sad about that, and it makes my heart, like, you know, sink in general. But for the people that do have control, you need to lock in. Please lock in. You've come so far into your life doing school. You might as well end it off on the notes. At least get a high school degree. You at least need a high school degree in life, okay? If you don't decide to go to college, okay, but at least a high school degree. Please, y'all, please, whatever you do, finish high school or get your GED. And so yeah, I really hope you guys enjoy this video and have a nice rest of your day. Peace. Sorry, out.